Hello, thank you for starting this training video on the SSOR Analysis tab and Quick Add tab. This video's training agenda consists of the following Analysis tab and Quick Add tab topics. First, we'll take a brief look into the Analysis tab. Then we'll have an introduction of the Quick Add tab. And last, we'll go into how to use the Quick Add tab. Okay, let's get started. Now, to access the Analysis tab, we see in the upper header of the page, there's an Analysis button. We'll click there to access the Analysis tab. Now, here's the Analysis tab. This is where users can view all data entered into SSOR for their agency. For each of the data categories listed in the navigation bar at the top of the screen, users can narrow down the wider data set to search for items grouped by a specific data field or fields. And so here we see the global filters. We have our report year selection, our rail transit agency selection, return data for selection. You can use this again as your global filters. Once you've made the selections for your filters above, you would simply click the Apply Filters button to apply the filters. Now, let's discuss the Quick Add tab. And here we go with our introduction of what is the Quick Add tab. The Quick Add tab allows users to enter new data for several of the data categories by taking users directly to the form needed. This eliminates many of the steps the user otherwise would have to take. Now let's discuss how to use the Quick Add tab. To use the Quick Add tab, whether you're in the Analysis section or on your home screen, you would select the Quick Add button at the top header of the screen. And here we'll select 2023. Now the Quick Add enables faster data entry for the following data categories: Contact, Correct Action Plan, SSO, Triennial Audit of RTA, and Internal Safety Review. Now let's begin with adding a new contact. So we'll click Contact here. Now there are two separate forms for adding contacts. The first form is presented only if the SSOA checks the radio button to indicate that the user to be enrolled already has an Appian account. Now we see, does the user have an account? We would click yes. And this is the first form presented for users who already have an account. Here you would just follow the prompts for input selection to find those users who have an account. Now we'll click Reselect to change the selection. This time we'll select No. So this second form that's presented is for those who do not have an existing Appian account. Here you would simply enter the requested data and then click the Submit button at the top or the bottom right corner of the screen to save the data to the SSOR database. We'll hit Cancel for today to return back to our previous screen. Now let's walk through how to add a new corrective action plan. After selecting the CAPS link, SSOR will populate the CAPS form. Simply enter the requested data and then click the Submit button at the bottom or top right corner of the screen to save the data to the SSOR database. Here we have all of the fields that are necessary to create the new corrective action plan. Now we'll hit Cancel to return back to our previous screen. Next, we'll walk through how to add a new SSO Triennial Audit of RTA. We'll click the selection there. After selecting the STARS link, SSOR will populate the STARS form. And here we have the STARS form. Next, simply enter the requested data and then click the Submit button at the bottom right or top of the screen to save the data to the SSOR database. Now we'll click Cancel to return to the previous screen. Lastly, let's talk about how to add an internal safety review. After selecting the internal safety review link, SSOR will populate the internal safety review form, which you see before you. Enter the requested data and then click the Submit button at the top or bottom of the screen to save the data to the SSOR database. We see our Submit buttons, and we can see the consistency of each form where that Submit button is located, and also the consistency of entering the required data. This concludes this video's training. For SSOR questions, please see the contact information on this slide.